Greetings, operatives. I am Agent 3540, and today I've got a Hunt Showdown 1896 tutorial video for you. I've been asked on some of my live streams recently to take people who are interested in Hunt through a round of Hunt, giving different details, what's happening, and just kind of generally explaining what Hunt is. Those same people gave me feedback saying that they haven't seen a tutorial video quite like my walkthrough, and they really wish there was one. So I took one of those tutorials, one of those games where I break down Hunt. We've cut it down to about 12-13 minutes, and hopefully you enjoy. Without further ado, let's check out some gameplay. So the way that it works is there's up to 12 players on every map. There could be fewer. Generally, you see between 10 and 12. In this particular map, there's 2 bounties. That's where you see the 1 mark and the 2 mark here. And your goal is to go compound to compound to narrow the area until you found where the boss is. So at each compound, there's going to be at least 1 clue. Some of them will have 2 that you may be able to get. So like Port Reeker, Healing Waters, Blanchette on this map have 2 clues. We may or may not be able to get both clues at any compound. So we're gonna try and narrow down where the boss is. We're gonna try and kill it, and banish it, and get its tokens. Like I said before, there's up to 12 players on this map. We account for 3, so there's 9 other people, all of which we're gonna try and take the bounties from. And so we'll run up here and we'll grab the first clue. So that's what this is here. We'll pick up our clue, and what you'll see is it's going to narrow where the boss can be. So these top 2 areas that are now dark gray, the boss cannot be at those compounds anymore. So we're gonna head south, probably to Chapel here, and continue narrowing down the space. Absolutely, Chad. They're trying to do the same thing we are, and we're trying not to make it easy on them. So we want to take them out just like they're trying to take us out. That's why it's a PvE game, because of the zombies, the grunts, the other AI, and the VP at the end comes from the fact that there are other players that are not friendly to our case that are trying to do what we're trying to do. So now we use our dark sight. The blue sparkles there kind of tells us where our next clue is. So we keep moving in that direction. The audio in this game is incredible. So everything that makes a sound is making a sound for a reason. There are some idle sounds like the birds here. If you get close, they'll make a little bit of noise. But if I get too close to them, they'll make a lot of noise and they'll fly into the sky, telling everybody on the map where we are. So you want to kind of play it a little bit sneaky, a little bit careful, and being mindful of sound traps and things like that. But it'll also tell you where players are, like other players, because they set off the sound trap. They may get too close to cage of logs, so that tells us where they are. So this is one of the bosses. We narrowed the scope down to where.
Sorry, I stood in the way.
Oh, you were totally good. We've narrowed the boss, the clues down to where we know where the boss is. So we've got our crosshairs, our target, and now we've got this spider to deal with. There's a thing I keep checking. Whenever you're close to the boss while it's alive, going into dark sight gives you some indications as to if there's anyone else around. Yeah, they hurt themselves after you stick them.
I really showed her when I punched that wall.
I'm standing at the air above it. It's okay.
So there would be angry whispers if there was somebody else
I was like, this is what I could do to you.
within a certain radius. It's like a 50-meter circle around the boss.
Here.
So now we're banishing.
Oh, I only brought 1 set of traps.
So now we're banishing. The boss
It's less
basically breaks
exciting.
down
Still
now.
trapped.
And as it breaks down, there's a timer that's running. You can't see it on TikTok, but in the top corner of the screen, there's a percentage that runs around the outside of the triangle or the diamond that the boss is in. Once that's finished, this boss will drop 2 tokens, which will give us a boosted dark sight. It'll mark enemy hunters in orange. We get 5 seconds of that. If you're solo, and you have a specific trait, you can get up to 10 seconds of dark sight. But you have to be solo. You have to have Magpie, if I remember correctly. So now we wait and see what happens. Once this is done, we could go to one of the extract points. We could also go to the slaughterhouse. So the other banish just started. So that's why you see the entire other area that was that light gray go dark gray, because it marked where the other boss is. So now we know that there's other players there. We can go over there to try and kill them and take their tokens, which is probably what we're gonna do. There's also all over the map, you see these little carts. Those are supply wagons.
Okay,
there's more bullets and items and stuff there. Just remember that Hunt's like a roller coaster. As you get into higher MMR lobbies, because you played exceptionally well, you're gonna get brutalized a bit. That's kind of how this game goes. So don't beat yourself up too much about it if you had a rough day. I've had some real bad days. They're right inside this wall here, the building. They seem to have a fair number of traps. One dead. Sounds like somebody's
Chaos.
He's on me. I'm dead here. They have a bow. Crossbow. Oh shit. Spicy revive. Prescient's dead.
Healing.
Down again.
Okay. Pushing it there.
I'm going inside.
Oh no.
There's one inside, one outside still. One inside's over here. Maybe by that window.
I'm retrapping this door we came in. One's got fire.
Hey, were they all playing the Prescient? How am I still killing Prescients over here? What is even happening?
Got him.
Watch them. I think they're solo. I'm resin.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's an MMR and a matchmaking rating. So the matchmaking rating for each individual combines into a matchmaking rating for the trio. So you generally run into people who should be similar-ish skill
I still want it.
for your team. I found a torch. I'm gonna set this man on fire. And there's modifiers, so if it's random teams, they assume that teamwork might not be as thorough as a team who had invites, stuff like that. This is one of the mechanics in the game is when a hunter is downed, you can set them on fire and it slowly burns away their health bars. Yeah, you can play it as 1, 2, or 3. And you can go against, as a solo, you can get against other solos or duos or teams of 1, 2, or 3.
Please. I'm gonna go loot
right?
bodies.
It is excellent. I've played almost 4,600 hours of it, and I'm still hooked.
Are there more traps?
What platform do you play on, Gio?
Right.
Console? PC? So the fire stopped, which means they can't get back up. They've got no more bars. And so now we've got all 4 bounties. I think the whole server's probably dead at this point.
So
but we're gonna try and get out.
Or up to the cart.
The cart would have a Reggie and stuff, but no tokens. So I guess it's up to you guys.
I'm good either way.
Yeah, we can just check towers on the way to Catfish.
All right, sounds like a plan. And so you go to one of the extracts. These move, by the way.
There's a lot of money in that
They
one little tiny.
they jump
building.
around randomly each map. They're in different places, and so we're heading to this one, and then we get out, and GG, we won the game. So audio in this game is great. The way the guns function, the fact that you don't really have as much spray as you do in other games, it rewards accuracy. Headshots will be a kill, things like that. Super cool. Rewarding. Fighting feels rewarding. And then if you die, like if we had died in that fight, all 3 of us, we would have lost those hunters. So there's a little bit of risk involved as well. So it's a pretty intense game. Because the game at first is pretty brutal when you first jump in. So trust that you're gonna die to AI. Stuff that it seemed like I was moving through really easily, it's going to be a problem for the first like 10-20 hours, if not a little bit longer. There are still times where the AI overwhelms me and I die at 4,600 hours. So like you can make a misstep slightly and get got still by the AI. And there you have it. A round of Hunt with an explanation of what's going on. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. If you have any questions or something that you're curious about when it comes to Hunt, leave it in the comments below. If you don't already, hit that subscribe button. I do stream 6 days a week on YouTube, on Twitch, on TikTok. So if you have questions you want to ask in the moment, make sure you swing through and throw them in the chat. If there's something that you want to know about Hunt that you haven't been able to find anywhere, let me know as well. I would love to create some more content and answer questions about Hunt that people really want to know, as opposed to just speculating what people want to know. That's all I got for today. So until next time, I'm Agent 3540, signing off. Later, y'all.